There is a very important event happening later this month that we all need to be aware of, and Prevent Child Abuse Utah, Lori-Ann Thorpe is the executive director to talk about that, and also the stunning statistic of 1 in 10 children are sexually abused before they turn 18.
That's correct.
That's stunning.
It is. It's one child is too many, so 1 in 10 is
far too many, and
yes.
That is a U.S. Across the country statistic.
That's correct.
What are some of what's the message here in Utah that you would like to tell parents and the community?
Well, I think that we all have a responsibility to protect children from child sexual abuse of any kind, really. But as far as child sexual abuse goes, there are some very specific things that parents can do to help children, to protect them and help them to be safe.
And in most cases, and this is really sad to say, but a lot of times the victim knows, and they're either related or they know their abuser.
90% of the time, the abuser is someone inside the family circle or someone that the child knows.
And that can be also very difficult and complex to spot, right?
Yes, of course, because they're a trusted individual to you, usually as a parent. You invited that person into your family, and you may also have a trusting relationship with them.
And they're
so
familiar with them. What are
yes.
some of the signs and what we should teach our kids?
One of the things that's important is to talk to children about body parts with anatomically correct words for those. And then also, it's important to help children understand that their bodies belong to them, that they have a right to say no, and that anytime that they feel uncomfortable, not just when something has happened, but anytime that anyone makes them feel uncomfortable, that they should tell a trusted adult, and then that adult can put a safety plan in place to make sure that interactions are limited in those situations.
And Lori-Ann, you say that parents should, or a loved one should, really listen to their intuition. If something like their spidey senses are creeping up, then what should we do? We should be starting to ask questions.
Yes, I think it's important to have difficult conversations with folks when you see something that you feel like is a little bit off. It can be difficult to have difficult conversations.
Because it's easier to say, okay, you know what, I'll just ignore it, or that can't be, and to convince yourself.
That is true.
But you say no, face it head on.
Yes, and I think sometimes, and it's important to have the conversation with other adults. So if you see something that's happening that's inappropriate, go to the parents or to someone that you can talk to about it and say, this is some behavior we've observed. We'd like to talk about it.
And then you say create a safety plan. What does that mean?
Correct. So this is something that parents can do anytime that they feel like, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a safety plan. So what we're going to do is we're going to limit interactions with those folks that are making our children feel uncomfortable. We're going to talk about body safety. So we're going to give kids permission to say, I don't want to give a kiss. I don't want to give a hug to so-and-so, whichever relative, or in any situation, give them permission to say, I don't feel like doing that.
Empower themselves. And again, what I'm reminded is that this is a conversation that you should have earlier than you think, right?
Yes.
And not just one big conversation, but maybe a continuous conversation.
Over and over, and I think just helping children to understand what makes you feel uncomfortable. When do you feel happy? What's the difference between a secret and a surprise? And how can we work together so that we can understand that secrets should be told and surprises are for happy times.
Time to stamp out any kind of abuse, sexual abuse, and we have that major event coming up on October 25th, the Barn Party.
That's correct.
What is happening? What are some of the details we need to know?
So the event is on October 25th, and we're going to be at the fairgrounds, and there's more details on our website at pcautah.org. And we're really excited. There will be a live auction as well as a silent auction. So we're looking for items that people are willing to donate to that. And also we'd love to have you come and join us.
All right, pcautah.org is the place you want to go. And of course, it's fun for the whole family.
Yes, yes, it will be a great time.
All right, thank you so much, Lori-Ann.